What's going on YouTube? In this video, I'm kind of just gonna go over what goes on behind the scenes, how my station's set up, the clippers I use, products I use, and overall how I like the products or how I like certain clippers. I just kind of want to give you guys a tour of the station, what I got going on. So, let me know how you guys like it. I'll kind of show you guys the entirety of it all. I got my station in the back, got my mirror, and then I got my chair. You already know what we're rocking with. Got to keep the cape, got to represent. And then I got my stationary vacuum over here, which is a must-have if you're, cutting a lot of hair, making big chops. And this one's sensor operated. It's a JRL vacuum. Dropped about 200 for this one. It wasn't a cheap, but it's a good investment. But I'll just go ahead and show you guys right there. So it's pretty good. I like that a lot. It's a good investment for me. And then coming over to the station itself, I got my clipper setups and then all the products I use in the back. Some stickers that I've been collecting for a while now, just kind of posted up there. Whatever stickers my homies give me or I'll find going out, just kind of on different vacations or whatever. I'll go ahead and collect them, throw them up there. It really don't matter. I like stickers. And then I kind of got my boxes of all my clippers, trimmers, shavers, or whatever I got. I kind of just throw them up here for like a little bit of a show and tell thing. You know what I mean? And then it's coming into my clippers. I got my magic clips, and these were actually my first pair of clippers that I got. So this clipper and my Andis outliner plus my wall shaver, that was my first combo learning how to fade. And that was probably I started learning about 5 years ago. My homie got me into the game. Shout out Garcia if you're watching this. And so I learned mainly, everything with these. And it took me a while before I wanted to make sure I had a good foundation before I decided to up my game with new clippers. But these have been with me the entirety of the 5 years. I took this on a deployment with me and this one as well. And they lasted through that. Don't have any issues with these at all. And then after these, I kind of upgraded to the Masters, and then the Masters hit. If you know, it's an OG clipper, and I've been cutting with that one for a minute now. My only issue I have with the Masters is that blade runs hot after I'd say about 45 minutes. That blade will start to turn hot. Ooh, I can't talk. It'll start to turn hot on you. But I know with the newer Masters that came out, the cordless ones, I think the black editions, the blade that they put on that one, it does not, from what I've heard, it doesn't get hot or hot as quick. But yeah, these are pretty good. And then I upgraded to these trimmers. This one first. And I use this one for my debulking. This is my Babyliss Rose Gold FX. And it'll eat through bulk like a monster. So I always use this one for that. And then I use this for my lineups. I try to refrain from debulking with these just so I could keep those blades sharp. And this came with the DLC blade. This is the Babyliss Low Pros. And it came with the DLC blade, but I took that off and I updated it to the Blue FXs. I wasn't a big fan of the DLC blade. To me, it didn't seem like it was hitting hard. I took the blade off, sharpened it, threw it back on here, made sure it was zero gapped, and it wouldn't hit lines like I wanted them to. So I went ahead and switched over to this Blue FX, and I haven't had an issue yet. I've been setting in my lines pretty crispy with those. So I really highly recommend, if you're having issues with blades and you're running Babyliss, to invest in the Blue FXs. And then I got my Stylecraft shaver. Can't remember what. I think this is the Prodigy. Yeah, the Prodigy. And this one's a monster too. It puts in work. You just gotta keep an eye on those blades. Sometimes they dull out. Just switch them out whenever they do. And then I got my wall guards set up here. My wall guards are usually my go-to guards that I go to. I got some Babyliss guards, but they don't really cut like how I want them to. I know the wall guards, they tend to get a lot closer to the skin than the Babyliss do. I tend to have issues with the Babyliss. It just seems the blend seems a little chunky to me, or choppy whenever I use the Babyliss guard. So I kind of stick to my wall guards. They haven't let me down yet. Oh yeah, and then I got my Babyliss low pro ones or FX ones. And right now I got my battery for that charging. I only got one battery at the moment, looking to invest in another one so I can just switch them out whenever. But this is my go-to at the moment, is hitting up with these. They work great. I haven't had an issue with them at all, especially with the blade that it comes with. Pretty good. My only issue I would say I have with them is that they run pretty loud. So if you're trying to have a conversation with your client, they're probably not gonna hear you. They'll probably laugh and then nod their head like they did, but they're probably not gonna hear you because of how loud they run. But the RPMs on them are really great. They cut through hair like nothing. But coming back here, you know, I got my gloves, battery charger, water bottle, need to refill it. And then I got my powders, aftershaves, oil, cleaner. I just had to buy some more because I had some, dropped it, stem broke off, so I had to eat the money on that one and just, you know, run into town and grab me a couple more bottles just in case. And then I got my hairspray. Whenever I go ahead and hit my lineups up, I'll spray them down, hold everything in place, and then go ahead and line them up with that. And then I got my suavecito, or my pomades and my powders. Also, another thing with the got to be, so it holds the hair in place, but sometimes whenever you're cutting them up, depending on how hard you lay that down, you will notice a little bit of residue left over on their forehead. It'll make it look a little, looks like whenever you were a kid and you know, you would like glue dry on your hands. It kind of has the same consistency. Sometimes if you decide to lay that spray down a little too much on the forehead or wherever you're deciding to line up at. So just be light-handed with that spray. And then I got my shave gel right here, my 245 shave gel. And I have my enhancements over here. I got my Temptation, fibers, and some Hoden spray back there. I'm looking to go ahead and upgrade to a compressor and a sprayer. And then I have my leave-in conditioner and my sea salt spray. And then back here I got my barber side. You know, got to keep everything sanitary, keep it clean after, you know, anytime you're done cutting, throw the guards in there and get them disinfected. And then again, I got my boxes up here. And then I got my stickers if you guys want to get into that. I think this one's my favorite right here. This is goofy, you know. But yeah, I get most of these. They're either given to me or I'll get them from like my tattoo shops or like here, if you know, you know, Meat Church, shout out. On YouTube, and that's kind of just everything about my station and how I got everything formatted out. Let me know your opinions on how y'all think about it in the comments. I do got another clipper coming in, the TPOB play. So if I get it in within this, within the week, I will be pushing out another video next Friday about how I like it and how it works for me. You know, I heard it's a lot more quieter, so that's kind of a plus because, you know, I like to talk a lot to my homies. So I'll let you guys know how that comes out, or you guys will see it for yourselves once I'll put the review out there. And as of right now, this is just kind of how the station's rocking. I will be moving here the next couple of months to back to North Carolina. So the station's gonna look a little bit different once I get everything set up and going how I like it over there. And once I'm comfortable and I got everything set up the way I like it, I'll probably be making another update on how that barber station is going back at the house. But other than that, you know, if you like the content I'm pushing out, or if you would like to see more content, different types, you know, leave it in the comments. But please leave likes and subscribe. I'm still kind of fairly new to YouTube and creating videos, so I'm trying to grow a little more. But yeah, help your boy out, you know, go ahead and subscribe. Peace.